Hello and welcome to a new video. I have a sketchbook tour for you today. I've just finished this sketchbook and I'm super excited because it took me quite some time to finish it, but there's also a lot of progress in here and a lot of really beautiful art. So let's go. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the sketchbook too much because I've already did a nice review of my favorite mixed media sketchbook, and this is one of it. It's Strathmore mixed media. It has 30 pages and I just decorated it a little bit with some of my stickers and from my favorite illustrators. So yeah, I started this sketchbook in March last year, and right after I started it, I quit doing art and went for a full-time job. So in March I only did like one illustration, one painting, the first one, maybe two, but I think it was only just this one, and then I haven't painted for a very long time, so it may seem like this sketchbook took a long time, but honestly I started like really working on it only in November. So let's see the art. Okay, let's see the art. I'm just happy I finished it. So the first painting I did similar to what I had in my previous sketchbook, that I'm starting with very light layers and going darker and darker and darker. I actually did a similar piece later in this sketchbook, so you can see the progress I made, and I like this one when it was made, but now I feel it's very basic and it's still pretty, but my skills developed so much that I don't know, it's just nice to see the progress. So one thing I really love about the sketchbook is its paper, because it's thick enough to hold gouache and the pages doesn't warp that much, as you see. And it also has a very nice texture. It's not blank like sketchbook paper, but it has tiny little bit of texture, and it's great for finishing details with Neocolors and pencils. And I also started loving oil pastels. So here is the first one I did. It's mixed media techniques, and I think I used Neocolors and oil pastels here maybe. It was fun to draw. It got a little bit repetitive up here, but other than that I really like the colors and stuff. Here is a window I found on Pinterest. I found inspiration on Pinterest for that, and you just know it felt like this nice idea of an old window, and the bushes, the branches, the leaves growing inside the house, and it turned out really great. This is one of my favorite pieces of this sketchbook. It seems basic, but it kind of gives this story about the old abandoned place where there's a window, so you feel like you're inside, but there are also leaves and the nature is growing everywhere, so it's interesting, I guess. Then I decided to do a couple of smaller pieces. I wanted to develop some skills, to experiment, to try something new. I think this one was a redraw from one of roof. We will show. I will leave the name of the artist here. She has some really great tutorials on painting landscapes with gouache. I really like her technique, and I've been using it quite a lot. So I did a couple of smaller sketches here and there, trying pencils, different colors. I think I here tried brush markers. And then I started painting landscapes, many landscapes. I'm really into painting nature. I love all the greenery, and I was just scrolling through Pinterest looking for some really nice views, and well, this is basically what I found. I was also trying to work on my colors here, so I can, like, my color palette is very unique. I would say it's based on this pink and green combo, but I don't want this purple, for example, like here it's really stand out from the painting. It doesn't feel like it's a part of the entire scene. So what I was trying to do here was try to also put some of these pinks on the greens and green on the water and everything to keep this color in some kind of a balance, if that makes sense. Okay, we have to keep going because this is gonna take forever. Then I went into painting forests. I actually really like the composition of this one, and I was quite happy with the colors. For all of these landscapes I was using first layers were gouache and then Neocolors and oil pastels. I really like this combo. Then I guess this was during winter, so I really wanted to go for something more tropical and exotic and just nice and warm. This is also one of my favorites. It kind of feels interesting. Here is just a house over the lake, and I guess I also tried adding some yellows and oranges here. The colors are really nice. Here I started painting parrot because I wanted to do an art collection with birds, which I did. It was my first art collection that I launched. I think it was in March this year. There were a lot of like parrots and toucans and stuff like this, and this was just to get into the theme. I really like how it turned out. Then I try painting some thumbnails of waterfalls. I just wanted to work on my composition skills and maybe a little bit with colors as well. Oh, here we have, I think it's my favorite spread. Maybe one of the favorites. These mountains, I guess, I also found an inspiration on Pinterest. And I don't know, but this is just turned great. These paths going inside and all of these big rocks growing up there. The colors are perfect here. It's like nothing feels out of the place because I put all of the pinks all over, also on green stuff, and this has some blues in it, and I don't know, I just love this piece. I'm actually thinking of doing some postcards of that. Here we have another forest. I tried painting more foliage because in the previous you saw that I've only did like very abstract, just blobs of paint as leaves, and here I actually tried in the foreground painting some actual leaves, which works great, I believe. And I also added different textures with Neocolors, and that give this nice depth and details to the piece. Here are some more landscapes, waterfalls. This topic is really a big hit and I mostly did landscapes in this sketchbook. Here I just had a blank page and I did not know what to do. I think I just wanted to start drawing after a very long break, and so I did this. It looks nice. Here's where the flowers are starting to show up. I'm adding more and more details in the foreground. I think here is where the paintings based on our vacation and travel comes. So I was trying to paint some views. We were in Corsica this year, which was amazing. The views were spectacular and I really loved that. I took a lot of photos and tried painting our adventures and the views that we saw there. Here were the rocks where we were just climbing with a dog. So that was exciting, and the coast was really beautiful. I really enjoyed walking there, but painting it as well. So here are also some views. Here was the river. The painting doesn't give its beauty. It actually didn't go as planned, but not everything have to. Then I went into a flower vibe. I really started enjoying painting flowers, and my first huge big painting was with magnolias, and here was just a first try to understand more how these flowers look. And then there were more and more flowers. I also painted a lot of meadows in my last collection. So this sketchbook was for experimenting a lot. I, for example, had no idea how to paint a peony, and I really wanted to put them on my paintings because they are my favorite flowers. So I just did a couple of studies of how the petals look and if I can even paint them, and I liked what I did, so I could create bigger paintings with them. Also the same went for composition for some meadows, and I actually did quite a lot of pieces with just flowers and sky, and they were a big hit. People loved them. So yeah, this is just something really random I found on Pinterest. Here is the sea view, and I don't really enjoy painting sea that much because it feels a little bit boring. I mean, you can do clouds and you can do the sky and you can do the waves, but there is no plants here and it kind of feels basic, but I really wanted to try these sunset colors. This is when it actually gets interesting and you can experiment with mixing all of these oranges and pinks and purples and the reflection on the sea, and I really love how the colors turn out here. Some more flowers. Here I also found an inspiration on Pinterest, but I'm not exactly happy with how the colors turn out here. It just doesn't feel right. What more we have here? More flowers and more meadows and more countryside and mountains and a waterfall. Here I did a turtle, which also has something wrong with the colors. Just the composition is nice, and I really enjoy painting it, that's for sure. But I would just like it to be a little bit less saturated, maybe more pastel colors, or I don't know. I like it, but just not entirely right. So on my last art collection, I did a lot of skies with clouds, and it looks awesome. Clouds are very interesting. If you paint just a blank blue sky, that's not that interesting. The clouds need to be there to add this interest and to add layers, depth, to like close the composition. I mean, obviously not always, sometimes you just want a sky, but even with photos, when there's a cloudy day, it looks better on photos than when it's just solid blue. So I really wanted to paint some clouds and learn how to paint them and experiment with these, look what works and what doesn't. I'm not 100% happy with the results here. I mean, there is a lot of room for improvement, but I had a lot of fun painting that, and I like adding all of these pinks and purples to the sky to make it look more like my kind of painting. And here we start, and I think it goes all the way to the end. I found my old acrylic gouache, and I decided to try and paint with it again because I haven't used them in like months or even years. And oh my god, I fell in love. Their consistency is the best, and I had so much fun painting with them that I didn't even thought about finishing anything with pencils or pastels. I just really enjoy painting, and so these guys are only painted with acrylic gouache, and I absolutely love the colors, and I was trying different things. Here is like almost night after the sunset. I did more clouds. These one are, well, I'm getting there. Here is the piece that I wanted to do another one, like I told you, comparing to the first one. So this one looks nice, but it feels basic compared to this one. I did a much better job with colors here, and I did much better job with all of the foliage and plants, and I just absolutely love how it turned out. I have a lot of fun painting it, and I absolutely love this technique when you start from the very last layer, which is like the most light one, and build all of this perspective up to the foreground. Here there's a waterfall which is slightly off. It doesn't look that great because of it. It feels like the water is not going down, but other than that, it's a nice piece. There's a lake. I really love the clouds, how they look here. They really feel nice and organic, and I feel like I achieved this sunset look where the clouds are actually pretty dark and they are only lightened in this area when the sun touches them. Here's my favorite painting of the clouds. They actually look like clouds here, and I love the colors and composition, and they also look quite organic and actually look like clouds. Here is another lake. These may feel a little bit boring because there's not much going on here, just some water and bushes and grass, but I actually like the composition of these very much, and the colors also turn out grey with this pink in the sky and just a touch of clouds. Here we have another lake, and here is the piece where I really doubted myself. It was the best example of trust the process, because for the first few layers it just looked bad. It looked really, really bad. But I stick to it. I decided that I will try and make it look nice. And I even spent like millions of hours on painting these tiny roses. Each one have petals and everything, and at the end it really turned out great. I love this. This is also one of my favorite paintings, maybe because I didn't give it a chance, but at the end it surprised me. Okay, we have only a few pages left. Here I started doing some more sketches and paintings to prepare for a new collection. I'm thinking of starting some paintings about summer views, summer landscape, summer sky, summer flowers. So here are just some ideas what can be there, like the lake and the poppy seeds and stuff like this. Here are some random pages. I sometimes like to just go on Pinterest and see what they suggest for me, and if I like something I'll just save it and try to paint it. Here I try experimenting a little bit with my colors, and I added a lot of these orange here and there, which is definitely not my color, but I actually love how it started working with blue. I added a little bit of pink on top of that here and there, and I think it actually fits my style pretty well. And here we have the last spread, and at this point I really wanted to finish the sketchbook, so I picked something simple and something that I enjoy painting, and here are the flowers. And this was the last spread, but actually the last page is here. And I also found this windmill on Pinterest, and it was far there with the mist in front of it, and then some fields in the front, and I didn't exactly get the mood and emotions that were on the inspiration, but I actually really love the colors of this one and the aerial perspective that I did here, and I don't know, overall it looks great. I think, and I had a lot of fun painting it as well. And here we are, end of July, and the sketchbook is done. I had really great time painting in this sketchbook. Like I said in my review of this guy, I really think it's one of the best sketchbooks for mixed media, and as you see, it works great with gouache and pencils and pastels, so I think now I'm gonna need to buy a new one. But I also have other sketchbooks to finish, so hope I will see you in a next sketchbook tour soon. And for now, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know which one or which of the paintings were your favorite, and see you in the next one. Bye bye!